Armed man rants about the Taliban and opened fire on the cops. So you're going to see some pew-pew action, everybody. No. He drew and shot. And he starts to go after both cops, because there's a cop on one on either side of the vehicle. Watch him again. He draws, shoots this cop in the driver's side window. Then he turns to the passenger side window to then engage with that cop. Or they return fire, and they make sure he doesn't process oxygen into carbon dioxide anymore. So this is them walking up to him prior to this. So this is why I show mad respect for cops, the majority of the time. I'll always be respectful. I'll take the L, I'll take the ticket, whatever it might be. Sometimes it gets downgraded to a warning if you're cooperative and polite. Now, I've been armed every time they pull me over, because I always have a fishing rod with me, and I always tell them about my fishing rod. I tell them about the caliber of my fishing rod. I make sure they know my fishing rod has a certain appeal to it, how it's beautiful. And they let me know where. I'd say, where is it at? It's here. They say, can you just hand it to me? I do. They put it on top of the vehicle. They deal with the traffic stop, and I turn my music off. I turn my vehicle off. Act polite. Yes, sir. No, sir. Hands on the steering wheel. Here's your information. This is how you should engage. But no. This guy is letting you know that the left says, you don't have to do that. No one has to respect the engagement or the lack thereof with the cops. You don't have to respect them at all. They're all evil, white, supreme. Remember, they killed George Floyd's of the Saint Paul. They killed Saint because he was black, they're claiming, if you're South African. So here we go. He says, I have a gun and I'm armed. Okay, thank you for letting me know.
So why did you pull me over?
Your inspection sticker expired
last. Call Joe Biden or call George Bush. Look.
He says, call Joe Biden or call George Bush. Don't bring me your business, he says. Don't bring this nonsense to me, he says. You call George Biden or Joe Biden or George Bush about his expired inspection. This is like, hey, look, we know that they fooped up your country. We get it. We understand you're angry. We understand you're mad. You have a right to be. But to attack police officers who are just asking you a little question about this and try to keep you and everyone else safe? Nah. That's a bridge too far.